I had a customer on Etsy order a few pens from me, and he saw some blanks that he liked from another seller on Etsy and asked me to turn him some custom pens with blanks from that store. These are those two. They're Buckeye Burl, obviously red and blue. They look great. I'm really excited to turn these. I don't remember the name of the shop off the top of my head right now, but I will link it in the description if you want to go get some blanks from them. I would definitely recommend them. They look really nice. I'm excited to see how they're going to turn out. So I'm turning slimline pens. So I'm going to grab a couple of tubes and see how I want these oriented so that I can cut them and then drill them out, get the tubes in, trim them down, and start turning. Alright, I've got these marked out where I want, where I think I'll get the best looking pen out of the blank. So I'm going to stick these on the bandsaw, cut them up, and then we're going to drill them out and put the tubes in. I've got the holes drilled now, so I just need to rough up the pen tubes with a little 220 grit paper. I've got my medium thick CA glue, accelerator, a little screwdriver to stick the tubes where they need to go, and gloves. So let's go. Alright, I've got the tubes in, got them where I want them, and I'm going to let these sit overnight, and then I can trim down the ends so they're flush tomorrow and start turning these, and we'll see how they come out. These have sat overnight, so the glue in them should be totally cured now, and I'm ready to use my barrel trimmer, flush down the ends of these to the tubes, then I can stick them on the lathe and get turning. The blanks are both ready now, so I'm going to start turning them. I'm going to start with the red one, and this is the orientation that I'll be going with. Let's go. Alright, I'm moving on to the second pen now, and then I'll finish them both together. This one's all shaped down now, so just the sanding left. But the grain in these is absolutely awesome, especially in this one. It's got a bunch of really cool swirls coming down through here. And you got a lot of this darker tone in the Buckeye that looks really nice. So this one, I'm super excited to see how this comes out. But let's get it sanded down and then we can get some finish on both of them. I'm getting ready to apply the finish now on both pens. So The customer requested a satin finish. I do satin or gloss. For satin, I usually use wax oil. My go-to brand is Osmo. This is a clear 1101 extra thin. So I'll do 2 coats of this now. I'll apply it with some Scotch-Brite, wait between the coats, and then let them sit overnight, see how they look in the morning, and tomorrow, if they need another coat or 2, I'll do another, but usually it's 2, if maybe 3. So let's go. Alright, so this will sit for a little while, and then I'll wipe it down to get the excess off and do another coat. But I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but this wood and the epoxy combination is just absolutely stunning. The color down in this piece is just perfect. This, when I'm turning Buckeye, this is exactly what I want to see, is stuff like this. A lot of these really dark streaks with the sort of grays and blacks in there, and then a nice sprinkling of sort of beige and lighter colors in throughout it, and that looks absolutely awesome. I'm really happy with how these are turning out. So I'm going to put this one aside, let it dry for a little while before I wipe it down and give it a second coat. I'll put the blue one on and give that one its first coat. Alright, so that's the first coat done on this one. This one also looks absolutely awesome. The Buckeye has a bunch of this really dark color down here. Up here it's got nice streaks of the dark coming through with a bunch of the beige around it. And the blue is a really nice contrast to it. I really like the way this came out. So I'm going to get this one off of here too. Both of these are going to sit aside and dry for another 20 or so minutes. I'll wipe them down, give them their second coat, and then they'll sit overnight. And we'll check on them in the morning, see how they look. It's the next day now and the pens are dry. I'm happy with how the finish looks, so I'm going to get started on pressing these together. So I'll grab my pen press, all the hardware for the pens, and start getting them put together. When I'm pressing the twist mechanism in, I like to sneak up on it a little bit and check the fitment of the cartridge inside of them before I, send it all the way. Because you're usually supposed to get it right about up to this line down in the pen, but sometimes if the blank ends up being slightly shorter, slightly longer for some reason, you want to make sure that you're checking it before you put it to where you want it to be. And they're done. That's them there. Really happy with how these came out. I think they both of these colors look really good with the gunmetal hardware, especially this red. That's a nice combination of colors, and it matches pretty well to the darker color on the Buckeye, so that's pretty nice.